Guys, if you can imagine one of the coolest places on earth, we are lucky enough to be able to work in it. AJ spent the time yesterday after we pulled a bunch of these out. A bunch of them needed gas. A bunch of them had to go to the service shop. Had to make a couple workup lists on a few of them. But this is an amazing, amazing accomplishment to have all these square bodies in one spot, indoors, and it would only be a fraction of them. But another cool thing that happened that I didn't put on video yesterday that I was going to say just before we close the video out, this truck and that truck, both very similar in color, very similar trucks other than the K20 and the K10, took to the fuel station. Tabitha was helping yesterday, so we jumped in them. And yes, one is an 84, and somewhere I said they were both 85s. 84, 85. Little grill difference, headlight bezel difference, things like that. I was looking at the back of the truck, not the front, so I did misstate that. But anyway, long story short, these trucks have dual tanks. We checked the gauges, we checked the switcher valve. One of them was running out of gas on one tank. We went to the gas station. AJ's jumping down from his high horse there. And both tanks worked. Both tanks worked with gauges, and the switcher valve worked on both trucks. So that was 4 chances for failure, and they actually still worked. So miraculous, very miraculous. Both cool trucks. Both ran and drove. She jumped in one like it was nothing, drove down there. Brakes are a little touchy on the back, which is not uncommon when these trucks sit. Both of these trucks have done some sitting, especially the K10, which was in restoration process. Christian got both of them online, as well as the one we're going to be talking about very, very shortly. So it'll be a cool video today, guys. We also got the SEMA truck washed up. And for those that have been asking about, don't trip, the shininess of the wheels, I would say those forged wheels shine pretty freaking good. Mickey Thompson did not spare any expense on their polishing process, getting those center caps right. She's looking good with the dust off of her. So we'll be bringing more content on this truck. We'll actually be switching some things around, getting these tires and wheels on another build project here soon that we're going to be doing a lot more driving with, because we want this truck to sit on display through the holidays. We got another one we're going to be driving through the holidays, parades, all kinds of different stuff with the family. So I think these tires and wheels are going to make their way on that. Also, the 10-door is out of here getting the battery draw fixed. Grimace is inside, and the Blazer is inside. Those will stay here to the best of our ability, unless we do have a parade or something going on for the holiday. I know a lot of you guys are going to be traveling through. Feel free to stop in and view the whole building, but Grimace and the Blazer I do plan to have here on display. Even if you come by after hours, we're getting ready to move all the trucks out of your way to view these things. They'll be lit up so you can even see them sitting in here after hours. Christian will get the Limo golf cart on today, the Escalade. That's going to be $15,000. It does have full enclosure for the sides, custom leather seats, headlights work. It's got turf mode, golf mode. It's got a cool stereo. Got all kinds of really, really, really good upgrades around it. So we'll go over all those details on the check-in today. And again, the full enclosure is probably one of the neatest things because it's getting ready to get cold. So it does have the, like a Jeep top basically, that snaps all the way around and zips in. Get that online too. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. You're not going to be able to see it as good as I'd like for you guys to see, but behind us is the Grandpa Edition truck. So a lot of you guys confused this for the truck we did almost exactly 2 years ago. And I have to say, though we've been doing square bodies, we don't just say we've been doing square bodies, we can back it up with photos all the way back from Polaroids of how many square bodies we have done, how many square bodies my dad did, how many square bodies my grandfather and uncles on both sides of the family had. But this one here was the cherry, sitting in here, collecting dust. I wouldn't let it out. I wouldn't let anybody drive it. I wouldn't let my guys drive it. It's a 21,000 original mile truck with original paint that's never even hauled anything in the bed. I didn't want anything to happen to it. So Brian and Daniel had the wild idea. They said, you know, Jeb, you had a truck like that, but it was a restored truck a few years ago. And you know what we did? We rolled it in the shop, put the kit, tires, and wheels together. He said, you know, that thing was one of the ones that kind of went most viral of anything we've done. I was like, yeah, I remember it very well because the customer bought it, took it home, took it to some parades, then decided he spent money on something he shouldn't have had a business. I don't know what shouldn't have, but he should have put the money in his business. So he said, Jebby, can you buy that truck? I want to buy some equipment. And I was like, sure, no problem. Literally, I'm going to bag it up. So we were down at the shop, not with this monster Cummins, but with a different monster Cummins that you guys haven't seen yet. It has 2 turbos on it. And we were plucking it out of one project, putting it in another project. And they had the truck sitting basically like this with no shocks on it, but stance. So I said, you know what? And I snapped a little picture. I said, pow! Got just the right angle. Sitting over in the corner of the shop. Wasn't done yet. Sent it to AJ or Christian, one of the two. They posted it on Facebook. By the next morning, the comment section was through the roof. And I was like, well, that's good. You know, that's great. You know, we got all these square bodies, but everybody's jumping on this one. It had a good look. It had the boggers. It had the 8-inch kit. It was one of the first ones where we started calling it the 1.0 package. And sure enough, from those comments, customer said, I got to have it. Send you the money. I'll be down there as soon as you can have it ready. Well, we had it ready the next day. Shocks, alignment, everything else. He bought it, took it home. Then again, we ended up buying it back from him, posting it again that it was back. A customer that missed out on the first post from Florida, nice young man, rolled up here with his truck and trailer the next day, loaded it up and took it home. And he's been enjoying it ever since. So it just made sense to do this truck in some ways. Now, I know a lot of purists are going to give us a ration of crap about it, and we're going to pull it out to where you can, yeah, so we gave it a chance. And with that last truck, it was one of the first ones that went on the triple rack. It was just like this, but long bed. Again, a lot of you guys mistake this one, as we've been teasing about it, for that same truck. It's not. This is a short bed. But that truck was a very nice, clean, slick, black truck also. And it sat up on the rack, and I had customers come in and buy square bodies and look at square bodies, and I'm like, you guys, look underneath this truck. Look underneath this truck. Look underneath this truck. Everybody looked at it and like, dang, that truck's nice, but I want that blue one, or I want that red one, or I want that green one, or I want that brown one. Okay, well, this one was kind of the same way, other than it should have got out more. It should have got to some shows and events. We really should have showed it off. Should have thrown some guns in the back, used it like it was supposed to be used. But the cool part of this truck is it's a V10. AJ's already laughing. I don't know if you see the camera moving, but AJ's already laughing. This is a V10 truck, not a V10 engine. It's a V10 truck. This is the only and last year of the half ton in this body style, 1987. So it's considered a V10, not a K10. When we do a short today, we got to put V10 in there, AJ, just so we can get something to get everybody get their blood pressure up on a Friday. And then all you guys that follow and really pay attention, go back and correct them, please. That's fun too. But fuel injected, great running 350 motor in these trucks. This particular truck, again, 21,000 miles. I have all the order sheets, bill of sale, paperwork. I had Kenny come in and a few others come in and actually basically document this truck as being what it was supposed to be, and it is. Davis Off-Road 8-inch kit, the 1.0 package with Fox shocks. Kept the front clean. If somebody wants a steering stabilizer system, no big deal, but look how clean that thing looks underneath. A set of Alcoa Mickey Thompson 14-inch wide wheels, 35-inch boggers. The tires and wheels are a phenomenal hit for this truck. And that's a set of wheels that we've had tucked away for ages. Truck's got a toolbox on the back, which has been more recently added than the truck. Side rails. The aftermarket bumper. When I say aftermarket bumper, these trucks came to the dealers without bumpers. A lot of people say, no. They argue that fact. I'll prove it to you on this particular truck. Go right under here and see if I can hit it with a light for you. That's where the license plate went. There's the license plate light bracket from GM. Wire's been cut so you don't have a light underneath your truck, and moved over here. Dual exhaust has been put on this truck. It has had the sending unit for the fuel pump replaced, and we replaced the belts. The original GM belts were still on the truck. And we even saved them just for some good documentation purposes. So pretty cool. So that's our excitement for today. I'm glad we did this because the truck looks great. The purist, well, purist should have come along and took it home before it was unpure again. But the nice thing is it's bolts and nuts and washers. There's no cutting, there's no welding on a square body. So if somebody says, yeah, but man, I just didn't think you wanted to sell that truck. Well, that's a common misconception because there's a few in here that I will say you can't buy. But this one was kind of for sale, kind of wasn't for sale. It kind of can be really stock again. It kind of can be huge. It can have the steps. It can have all the other stuff. So nothing's holding it back from being a really cool vehicle. No different than this one or no different than this one. But I'm glad we did that. And unfortunately, guys, it's blocked in here. And we've got rain coming, as you can see, outside. So today's not the right day to have this truck out in the weather. But we will bring you more content on it. We will drop in some pictures along the way of that other truck. We'll drop in some pictures of what this one looked like just 6 or 8 hours before Davis Off-Road racked their hands on it. And happy to help you with anything we can. It's going to be a great weekend. Got a lot of stuff going on. Mike's got a lot of customers traveling in today. So we'll be a little spotty with the content, but we'll get as much knockout as we can. We got to get Dave rolling this morning first thing. Thanks a lot for watching. Mobile service work being done. Our friends at Bermuda Truck Repair, always killing it on anything that we need. Getting the shifter shuttle transport tractor trailer mover. Had a little bit of a brake delay. So putting a valve on that. Checking her over, make sure that Cummins is ready to go. We got the bass boat out front. 2 of these left. 1 blue, 1 maroon. If you guys buy them, I can stop talking about them. Hooked to our Eco Diesel Bighorn. I'm sure I've said this before in a video. We actually end up using this for moving a lot of our trailers and a lot of our stuff over the last year or so. But this truck was actually owned by the man that owned the building that I bought across the street. And it was his personal truck, drove it all the time. So we knew the history. He had a silver one before this one, and then he bought this one. Passed the silver one to his worker. We may end up with that one day. But it's been a good, dependable truck. Little small Eco Diesel. That's a small Cummins, basically. And it's done really well. So AJ and myself have got a few of the cars inside. Ended up putting a trickle charger on the Corvette just because it's had one forever, so I guess it's gotten used to it. A super low mile convertible inside. The Hilux crew cab right-hand drive. It was funny. I wish I had my phone on. I was blowing the leaves. AJ, just like all of us, walked to the driver's side to get in instead of the passenger side. Then we get the little Mini X. So last one of those we've got left. That one will sell in the next week or two, obviously, for end of the year. Somebody wanting a tax write-off. I'm going to get to that tax write-off stuff. I don't get to it in this video. Actually, I'm going to get to it in this video today. Or clip it into a separate one of the two. But got the Davis Drive Chevette. AJ caught me in a funny spot earlier. I was backing out. Dave was giving me a hard time. We all know my mechanic across the street, Dave, is a diehard Ford man. He said, I'm surprised that Chevy started. I said, this Chevy always starts. So I proceeded to mash on the gas a little bit. AJ might clip that in here. Maybe, I don't know. But building's looking good. Did a little rendering yesterday with where that sign might look like with the old school neon. I think it said Davis Classic Chevys or something. It actually looked pretty good, so that's pretty neat. So that might be the way we render that sign, experiment with it. We also need some sign work done over here, and looking at doing some artwork on the side of that building since it's so big. Maybe some kind of mural. We'll see how that works out. But probably after first of the year. We got enough to get done between now and the holidays and try to enjoy it with our families a little bit. The last 2026 that I'm going to get for this year, FX4 F450 Platinum in stock. The Yukon Denali, the Denali dually out front. There's the 1-ton GMC. I think we got a customer traveling in today or tomorrow for that one. 109,995 on the 26 F450. Got 100 miles on it. Then of course the 250 with 800 miles. The 350 trimmer has sold. And then we've got the gray for 69. And then the X Edition, Daniel and Brian are going to decide on a tire and wheel package, and we're changing that up. Get this thing looking a little different. Maybe lift it a little more. Don't know yet. We'll let them use their creative juices on that one. So, and I talked to the builder of this truck yesterday. It is a couple year wait time if you want one. So, confirming that, and also confirmed the ballpark of $300,000 roughly. So if you want a brand new one, that's fine. Or if you want that one, you can have it now. As promised today, guys, I'm going to go over a little tax strategy for you business owners. Now, I am not with the IRS. I am not a licensed professional. I am just telling you simple business economics. And in the background, as we're moving around a little bit, because I can't stand still and do this, you'll see some of our commercial trucks, which become very popular at the end of the year. Now, I will tell you, many, many moons ago, when I watched this strategy in our business, all we needed to do was go buy some tools. We didn't need to buy trucks. We didn't need to buy equipment. We didn't need to buy anything because we didn't make any money. But my dad would say, let's go to Sears. Sears sold Craftsman. My dad was a big Craftsman guy. And then when my uncle became a Mac dealer, he became a big Mac guy. So he would see him at this time of the year. But basically, let's just dumb it down a little bit. Let's go over here so we can, you want to get on the side of that rollback? I'm better when I'm still. You want to get on that side and I'll be on this side? So let's just put it into some simple, basic terms of a standard business, not a complex, crazy, convoluted business like ours. Let's just say you run a pressure washing business and you've been doing good. You got your truck, you got your trailer, you got your pressure washer rig, you got your soaps and your chemicals, and along the year you've been expensing that stuff, and you figure out that your bills are paid, you've paid yourself a monthly salary or a weekly salary, and at the end of the year you made $100,000. Choose a round number. That'd be a great number in these days and times, but let's just say you made $100,000. If your tax bracket puts you at 35%, you're going to pay the government 35% of that $100,000. Okay? That's the way it goes. Unfortunately, if you own a business, you guys that are on like a salary or working in a company, you're paying taxes too. It's just coming out of your check. Look at your check stub. It shows it on there. So the strategy of why people spend money at the end of the year for expenses are, you can take that $100,000, you can bring it down. You bring it down by, let's just say your trailer and your pressure washing rig has gotten pretty raggedy. No, those things wear out. Alvin goes through a pressure washer. Well, when the guy was next door, he went through them real quick. Now he has to make them last. But he would probably go through one every couple years. At one time, we had a guy going through one a year. So we'd be going and buying one this time of the year, putting it away till he needed it. Say the rig's 50 grand. You expense that 50 grand. Now your profit for the year is only 50. Now, yes, you had to spend 50, but you were getting ready to pay taxes on that 50. Now it's an expense. So now your tax liability is only half of what it was. Now, a lot of people take this to the extreme and really go overboard, and that's where you go get yourself in a pickle with the IRS. But if you have things you really need, you might as well buy it. Again, you can carry that number down to zero. You can make it a loss if you want to. That's completely up to you. But we would, at this time of the year, we'd kind of look over, what does Alvin need? What does AJ need? What does Christian need? What does the service shop need? What does the property need? And that's when we would do our upgrades and things like that. We could have done it in February, March, April, May. It's still an expense for the year, but everybody always waits to the last minute. I know we do. I don't want to say everybody, but most everybody gets down to the end, talks to their accountant, finds out they had a good year or a bad year, and then they scramble. So use tow trucks, for example. Tow companies make pretty freaking good money. So you go to your accountant in November and they say, man, you did better than last year by X amount of dollars. Let's just say you did better by $150,000. If you go and buy a $150,000 truck, you just had the same exact year as the year before. You know how much taxes you paid the year before. If you're comfortable with that, you buy a $150,000 truck, whether it's on credit or whether you pay cash for it, and you can get your numbers in order. I don't know how else to say it or explain it. I hope this is the easiest way, but it doesn't matter if you're, you can't go buy a luxury SUV for your wife if you're a carpenter or if you're a roofer. That doesn't work. Another red flag area. But you can go and buy a bucket truck because you need that to get on a roof. And you can go buy a nailer and a compressor and whatever else that you need to do the job that you do. So you obviously got to keep some fine lines there. Tow trucks, equipment, they're our biggest things this time of the year. Vans, bucket trucks, wreckers, box trucks, and a lot of people spend a little more frivolously because it's like, pay it to the government or take the expense. So it's almost like you're getting a 35% off discount. Maybe that's the easiest way to put it. Come buy from Davis Auto Sales before the end of the year and you get a 35% discount. I'm not going to give it to you, but Uncle Sam essentially is. That's probably the easiest way to dumb it down. You are getting a savings no matter what time of the year it is, but most of the time people save it till the end of the year. So for those that have asked, I hope that is simplified enough. Does it make sense, AJ? Again, every business is different. Hopefully you had a good year and had a profitable year. Our year's down, unfortunately. Even though we've worked harder for less dollars. It's unfortunate, but there's this trend in business. You see some people say, oh, I've never had an off year. You guys are very lucky. You're very fortunate. We rode a pretty steady upward wave ourselves until 07, 08. Went down, came back up that wave around 10 or 11, climbed to a peak that we'll never see again during COVID. And then obviously everything from there has been a little bit off on a pretty equal level of downturn. So we don't feel bad. Some people say when a business is not going up, you might as well jump ship. That's probably the case with some people, and that's probably the case with some businesses. But ours is economy driven tremendously. Even though a lot of what you guys see are wants, not needs, a lot of what we sell over here are got to haves. If your truck is down, you need a truck. If your piece of equipment is down, you need a piece of equipment. You don't necessarily need a square body. That's more of a want than a need. So anyway, if it doesn't make sense, sorry. Again, I'm not a professional. I've just seen 30 plus years of it in my business and commercial business of real estate and other things. So at the end of the year, after December 31st, it's a new year, depending on how you do your fiscal year. But if you do a calendar year like we do in our businesses, January 1, everything resets. So if you need expenses, you need to do it before then. That is one of the reasons we get busier than ever between the two holidays, when it would be nice just to close and go home or go hunting or hang out and chill. But it is a busy time for us. And we are stocked up. We are ready to go. If you guys need anything, just reach out to us at any time. You know how to get us on the website, davisautosales.com, davis4x4.com, or 804-271-0030. And again, I'm no expert, but I will be more than happy to talk with you. Mom is very knowledgeable as well because she handles that stuff for us. She'll be happy to explain some things if you're a newer business. Dad would be doing that constantly this time of the year with customers saying, what should I do? What should I do, Mr. Davis? You know, we're not plumbers. We're not electricians. We're not carpenters. We're not astronauts. But business models are very much the same no matter what business you're in. So if we can help with a new business or somebody that has questions or is trying to be a little bit more strategized going forward, feel free to reach out. Be happy to try to help you. Guys, picking up a truck, had a little windshield time, so I figured I'd finish this video off. Hopefully we'll get some stuff produced through the holiday. We're going to try our best, but we also have a busy schedule of customer vehicles to get in and out and vehicles to ship and everything else going on. And I want all my guys to be able to enjoy their holiday as well. So last year we packed it in Thanksgiving Day, Friday afterwards. Maybe we'll go do some Friday shopping. What is that?
That's Black Friday.
Black Friday shopping. And do some funny stuff. That might be a good idea. Maybe we'll drive one of the monster trucks to the shopping mall.
That would be crazy.
I think we got some funny ideas. But hopefully the tax thing helped you guys a little bit. I've got 2 or 3 that we have worked on getting filmed, and I'm going to try to get together for you guys. One is on these headaches that I have because I want some sufferers out there to understand, because it was years before I was physically diagnosed, and I'm hoping I got down to only having 2 yesterday. One right as I was leaving work and one in the middle of the night. So they're coming less. Some days there's 4, some days there's 5, some days there's 3. Usually, thankfully, at night, because that's when I stop moving a lot and compared to work. But I think there's some people probably suffering with this, and it is excruciating. Again, all you do is jump online, look at cluster headaches, suicide headaches. You can figure out what they are, but I got AJ some stuff to snip in on that video. I got another video of one of my buildings that I leased to the government. And it's a long-term lease, so it's a great, I want to show it to you all from 2 or 3 different perspectives. I want to show it to you, one, on how you can do an investment that will pay for itself, and then pay for itself, and then pay for itself, and then this building will probably continue to pay for my children and their children in the future. But it was a disaster getting to the point of finally having this long-term lease. So if you ever had to do anything with the government, this right here will make some of y'all feel like not so bad about what you probably went through, because it was insane, the hoops, loops, and trials and tribulations to make that happen. So that's going to be a whole nother video. And then I want to recap SEMA with so many clips that you guys have not been able to see that got copyrighted, or what is it? Copyright. Yeah, copyrighted because of the music playing. So many clips that I've seen other guys have that I feel bad I didn't get to you guys first. So you might have already seen some of these things. But I think I'm going to give it all to AJ to put together and just have to put music over it. So it won't be as good as us talking and explaining, but I think if we put music over it that is non-copyrighted, we'll be okay. So that'll be cool. Actually picking up one of the 6-door trucks and had the whole truck repainted. This is one that we had a wrap on. Spent the money, spent the effort, had the whole thing repainted instead of rewrapping it. Not that I'm against wrap, but I don't like covering things up. So we pulled the wrap. The truck had some paint imperfections, and the clear coat had peeled, and the fender flares had rubbed. So we got a full new pearl platinum white paint job on this 6-door. So this thing will be back live and available soon. We're going to change the tires and wheels and do a couple other things to this particular truck. I think you guys are going to really like it. And the X Edition, I'm fully game for some trades on that. We're also getting ready to make some changes to that truck. Before I do so, I want you guys to know there's definitely an opportunity for any of the high-end stuff right now. The Bronco, the X Edition, some of these other $250,000, $300,000 things. If you guys have got some trades or some entertaining things or some collections or something that you think I might be interested in, and they're not doing me any good sitting on the parking lot. We don't have any shows to take them to, so it is time to let some of that stuff get turned over into some fresh inventory. So if you haven't seen the Bronco, you got to go into the shorts. If you're not watching our shorts, there's some of the, not our shorts we're wearing, our shorts on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. Those are where some of the really funny stuff is. You may not have seen Christian not even able to start a square body, or see AJ jumping over TJ's back earlier, or see Christian getting kidnapped yesterday in the back of the Escalade. All that fun stuff happens on the shorts. So thanks, guys. We'll pick this truck up. Looks like the weather is going to be a bummer for us for the weekend. Looks like we got rain here all weekend long in Chesterfield, Virginia / Richmond. But thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. Please click and subscribe. We're getting within 3,000, almost to 500,000. We are 3,000 away. So please click, subscribe, support the channel, and we've got some awesome merch getting ready to drop. Excited about that. We'll try to do a release on that on Monday. It's going to be a specific SEMA show shirt. I think you guys are going to love it.